Hey there, Libra. Welcome to Lady of the Unknown Oracle. My name is Sophie, and this is your February 2023 reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember that this is a general reading and that time is fluid, so please apply what resonates and suspend the rest. This reading can be applied to relationships, career, and personal growth, as well as to the sign of Libra wherever it presents in your birth chart. If you would like a personal reading, please see the information in the description box below or send me an email at ladyoftheunknown555@gmail.com. And with that, let's get started. So Libra, right off the bat in your pre-shuffle, I got indication that you are currently you're fighting either an unhealthy mindset or you are in a toxic living environment or work environment. You could be connecting with a Capricorn or an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But in general, you are trying to gather your internal and spiritual resource to find the best way out, the best way through the situation that you're currently experiencing. So let's go ahead and see what else there is that you need to know coming into this month. So overall, the energy is the Knight of Wands, so more Leo, Aries, Sag energy. Could be connecting with any of those signs, but in general, the Knight of Wands indicates either a journey that has been fluctuating up and down, that could describe your temperament or the temperament of someone that you've been connecting with. Someone could be hot and cold. But in general, this is indicating that whatever cycle you're in right now, it's been unpredictable. It's been very up and down, hot and cold. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad. And it's like success and failure, and those periods occur very close together. For others of you, this is talking about a journey that is motivating you to really get the hell out of Dodge. Like, I find that for some of you, this is whatever you're going through right now is really helping you decide that you have something better to aspire to. Where you currently are is the Nine of Swords. Yeah, so this mindset, this place, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, this commitment, it is really weighing on you mentally. You're tormented, you're having nightmares, you're having a hard time sleeping. This to me is not boding well, right? Because the Nine of Swords can indicate that you just can't get sleep because you're so excited. I'm getting that you can't sleep because there is something very painful on your mind. What is in the block position for you is the Eight of Cups. It's a feeling of being trapped. Like, emotionally, there's nothing here for you, but you also can't find a way to move. You feel limited. Emotionally, very much so. It's like you already know that there isn't anything here. You're in an empty situation. And for those where it's not like completely empty, this could also be sort of like a fear, a very real fear that no matter how far you push, you'll never actually achieve where you want to be. Like, you're going to ask for grace but not receive it. The Nine of Swords can be indicative of sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, self-doubt or self-sabotage that is manifesting itself in reality. And the block is that there's a feeling here of just not being able to move, not being able to move in the direction of fulfillment for one reason or another. The best case scenario here, Four of Swords. So this is about taking a rest and really getting some sleep, more mental energy, whatever this is that's been on your mind. Okay, if there is any way to create distance between yourself and these thoughts, try to take it, even if it means meditation, right? Meditating for just a few minutes, sitting in your car before you come into the house. Just take some time for yourself. But you need rest. Whatever this is that's going on, you need rest. And the fact that you're not getting very much of it is getting in the way of your ability to cope with everything else around you. It's getting in the way of your decision-making capabilities. This is all feeding into itself. Now, the reason it's all happening is the Empress. So you could be connecting with a Libra. This can also represent a mother figure in your life. Okay, but this is indicative here that this is almost like a feeling of some kind of blessing that's come into your life, but it's expanding so quickly you just don't know what to do with it. Because I am feeling with the Nine of Swords that you are mentally overwhelmed by this. For some, it's that you just found out that you're pregnant and that you just don't even know what this means. You can't even fathom what the future holds, and you're scared. You need to take just a second. If this fire sign means anything to you, if this is a positive force that comes to mind when you see this Knight of Wands, reach out to this person. Even if you don't feel trust, like you could trust them enough to disclose to them what's going on, just to have someone beside you so that you're not alone to feel these things is still helpful. But this can absolutely indicate some kind of cycle of having received some major blessing or opportunity, or something has expanded, something is fertile, right? And it can become something incredible. But something about this is inspiring quite a lot of fear. And in the recent past, we had the World. So this is about something coming full circle, some kind of massive closure, the completion, the success, the fulfillment of something. This is very real. This is almost Libra. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is feeling like a fear of success. And I believe it was Aries and Scorpio who had almost mirroring positions in some of their reading. It was like a fear of success, a fear of something so grandiose they almost couldn't fathom that was their life. We will see how this clarifies, but that's what I'm sort of getting from you, is like it feels like a decompression. You've been working your way up to something, right? Because the World indicates that you've been working very hard on something. It finally came to completion, and now you're in a state of like, what the F? What's going on? I'm so scared. Is this really my life? I can't even believe this. What's going on? I have a feeling there's multiple elements playing into this, because you've got blessings in your life, but I think the fear is coming from something not being compatible with this success. You are carrying the success, but things surrounding you sort of want to pull from it. They want to draw from you. They want to drain you. And I think that is what worries you. How can I be successful for myself while also planting boundaries and telling people no, and telling people you didn't work as hard as I did. You didn't do what I did. You're not showing up to game day with me. How are you expecting to be a part of this when all you do is make things harder? That's the feeling I'm getting. Coming into the near future, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is people wanting things, asking for things. That you're trying to give and spread yourself out so thin, right? Bosses asking for more work, family members asking you for money, friends asking, why are you so busy, right? It's like a never-ending cycle where there are so many demands placed on you, and you're just really, you're spreading yourself out so thin, and it's like, because you're just trying to make it all work. Best case scenario is that you take a break, gather yourself. How you see yourself is the Three of Cups. You see yourself as part of friends. You see yourself as part of a group. You see yourself as a part of the pack, part of the team. You don't see yourself as an outlier, an outcast, someone who's not loved. You see yourself as someone who's at the center of a really strong support system, people who do love you, who are grateful to have you in their life. You see yourself as generally a happy-go-lucky person. What this energy is bringing you right now is actually quite foreign. That's normal, Libra. To be so overwhelmed by what's in your life that now you have to grow to accommodate That is what a blessing is. Blessings are actually very difficult to have in your life. Most of the time you hear the narrative surrounding blessings as like this amazing magical thing that just happens upon you. Most blessings require you to grow, especially a blessing this big. Whatever this is, you are expected to be in your greatest power, your highest sense of self. You are expected to show up 100% to be able to adequately accommodate whatever this is that has entered your life that you have worked very hard for. This is meant for you, and you worked for it. This is not by accident. Okay? It's okay to be spread out thin right now. I do feel that this is very temporary. Most things, all things in life are temporary. But I think this even more so. I think there's a part of you that believes this rough patch is going to last forever, and it's really not. Who had, there was one of the other signs had at the core of their reading a rough patch. I believe it was Scorpio. Scorpio also was, you may have a very strong Scorpio placement somewhere in your chart. If you do, take a look at Scorpio as well, because there was also a fear surrounding a rough patch, sort of like low on energy, low on time, some fears, definitely, but massive changes are sweeping through their life as well. Okay, so in that sense, these are very similar energies. But Libra, you will be able to accommodate this. Don't think that you won't. You will be able to accommodate this. That is why it's been given to you. Okay? In the environment, for what you may or may not see, or what the divine is going to bring you, is the Five of Swords. What you may not be seeing is someone in your environment may not have the best of intentions, but it is not going to affect you. Someone here I'm getting is very selfish. Could be multiple people, right? Because you see yourself as the Three of Cups. So you may see yourself as one of several, but because of the Six of Pentacles coming into the near future, I am getting some connection here that the people who do love you may also be the people who are sort of the saboteurs. By asking you and including you and making you feel wanted in an inadvertent way, they may actually be guilting you as well. They may not understand that what they're doing is harming you, harming the process. Okay? I find, Libra, that this reading is deeply individual, and if you are connected with other people, this reading specifically is more about your internal state right now and how that is working inside of you and projecting itself out to other people, and how what other people are doing, or how this other person, what they're doing, is affecting you. So this is deeply internal personal development is what I'm getting. Your fear is the Page of Pentacles. Will I be up to snuff? Will I learn what I need to learn to make this happen? Will I be enough? Libra, the answer is yes. Your most likely outcome is the King of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Again, if you have Scorpio in your chart, please go take a look at the reading, because the energies are very similar in regard to the fear factor. No pun intended. King of Cups, okay? Ultimately, this is a healer, a counselor, a doctor, a therapist, a social worker, someone who is completely capable of being able to handle not just their own emotions, but someone else's emotions. This could be someone who is going to enter your life or is currently in your life, who serves as sort of a father figure or a mentor, but somebody who is going to be able to assist you, with this process moving forward. You are not alone, and in spite of the people who don't really understand what this life change requires of you, someone here does. And if that does not ring any bells, what that tells me is that you become this person, Libra. You become this person. You are able to learn what you need to learn and gather together what you need to gather in order to be who you need to be to accommodate this blessing, to make this happen, to make this work, to successfully break through this wall. It feels like it's been keeping you stuck. Overwhelm. The 10 of Wands is the overall energy. This is not sustainable. The amount of pressure that you're feeling right now is not sustainable, and it will drop. Right? With the 10 of Wands, 10 reduces to a 1. You're at a point right now, Libra, where you are going to drop this. You are dropping it right now, and I think you feel guilty because you are not having a choice in the matter. What you're feeling right now is too intense, and you are just allowing life to be what it is right now. And if you have to cry, go ahead and cry. If you can't get sleep, then don't get sleep. But don't shame yourself for not being what you think is required of you right now. What I'm getting here is that because of how much you are expected to change during this process, how this progresses is going to be different than how you had previously completed your last cycle. You're evolving, you're changing, you're having to go with the flow again. The pressure is going to be alleviated very soon. With the 9 of Swords, we have clarifying it, the 8 of Cups. Emotionally, right? You just feel like right now you're not happy, you're not satisfied. Moving forward is the only thing you know how to do, but even that makes you feel guilty. Libra, just keep moving. With the 8 of Cups being your block, clarified by the 4 of Wands, it's like the household, the job, the new job, the new foundation you've built. Something about it just doesn't feel right. You were hoping it would be easier by now. You were hoping it would be better by now. You were hoping to be happier by now. But it's like, without skipping a beat, it just gets harder and harder and harder and harder. That is A-okay. 4 of Swords as the most likely outcome with the Empress. You are going to feel 10 times better, 1,000,000 times better by taking a break. An opportunity where you can really, without guilt, without shame, love on yourself, pamper yourself, sit in yourself with ease, right? I think you have really pressed upon yourself the need to work as hard as you can and sacrifice yourself and put your really just push and push and push. And I think right now more than ever, you're being called to give yourself some grace, to allow yourself to sit in a space of calm and not feel guilty for it. With the Empress being the reason this is all happening, is the 9 of Wands, pushing and pushing and pushing yourself, compromising. Excuse me. Wrong deck here. The 9 of Swords, right? Used the wrong deck for a second, pulled up the right one. Sorry about that. With the 9 of Swords, right? Really just allowing the pressure to build up and the expectations of self, and allowing the self-doubt to really grab a hold of you. And it's like, even though you're the Empress, and even though you are perfectly capable and perfectly able to nourish this opportunity, these opportunities, these people, this life, this version of yourself even, you are still in a space where the doubt is grabbing a foothold. In the recent past, with the World, we have clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, something you've been working very long and hard for. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is absolutely about a journey, a process, something you have applied to day in, day out. Like, this is something that has been a long time coming, and it's like the blessing has just gotten to be so big that you're feeling guilty that you can't show up to it the same way you always have. You need to give yourself some grace, and for as much as you can, allow yourself to readjust now to whatever this growth is that's demanding you. It's demanding something different of you. Perhaps you won't find it as satisfying to do right now, because what you actually need is some time to do things you actually want to do. Take time alone. Take time with the people you love. Right? Take time to be alone if you find that the people who surround you just don't understand. With the Six of Pentacles coming into the near future, you've got Judgment. So you'll be receiving word from somebody, receiving the results from something. You'll be given an opportunity to do something. Whatever you've applied for, you're going to get it. You're going to receive an answer, but it looks like to me it is in the affirmative. They are going to select you. Now, if they are not, let's say that they do not select you, then this is what this is telling me is this is the reason that they are not giving it to you is because you are supposed to be receiving something different. Right? Like there are many people that they consider you equal to, and it's not that you are not it's not that you are not adequate. It was that they just had other people, but that you are just as qualified, if not more so, to apply for another opportunity. But in general, I am seeing that you, in the affirmative, will be selected for something. And that you will be, if you're not selected, you will choose to put yourself in a position to determine whether or not you want to continue giving yourself to something or give yourself to someone or a group of people. You are going to put your foot down and decide yes or no based on your own criteria. How you see yourself with the Three of Cups. Three of Pentacles. You see yourself as someone who is very happy doing what they're doing, happy becoming who they are becoming. You see yourself as at the center of a group of positive coworkers, a group of people who understand and respect you. I see that you're almost, it's like you're in two different worlds, Libra. It's like you're in two different, like one foot in and one foot out. One foot in this world, one foot in the next. You're in transition, even though the Six of Swords hasn't come up. It's like you're still, I think the Six of Swords hasn't come up yet, maybe because you're still with the Five of Swords here, but it feels very much like a big transition. One foot in, one foot out. You're living in two different spaces at the same time, and it's because you're about to lift one foot to dedicate and commit into the new one, because you've already let this one go. This is still tied into everything else you're doing, but this period in and of itself is done. With the Five of Swords, as in your environment or what the universe is bringing to you, is the Devil. So again, Capricorn energy, that same toxic environment I was telling you about. It looks to me like there are people in the environment who are very selfish and don't understand what you are doing, what it requires of you. Coming in, I feel that you are going to make a decision about these people, a decision about how you are managing things, you're managing your resources, whether or not you're going to continue to give to a situation or to people. The perspective that right now you feel very scared of is the exact perspective that's going to inform the strength that is going to fuel you when you lay down the law. The Page of Pentacles, as your fear, is Temperance. You could be connecting with a Sagittarius, but this is about, am I going to be able to integrate? Am I going to be able, that's what I'm saying, one foot in the old, one foot in the new. Will I be able to integrate the two? Will I be able to shift into this new life and put together the things that I've learned and really be able to maximize this opportunity that I've been given? If that's probably the better word, not transition, but integration. You have so many pieces that are now fully in front of you, all these tools that are completely in front of you right now, Libra, because you have worked hard to understand. You have worked hard to create. You are a creator. That is why the Empress has come up twice. You are a creator. Through you, things are born. Things are created. Things are nurtured. Where you are is not a coincidence. It is because you brought it to be. It is so because you spoke into it. You spoke it into the universe. And Spirit heard you. God heard you. Goddess heard you. The source heard your voice through the dark and said, I will give this to you because you are working for it. You're working towards it. You are equipped to take this on. In the outcome, most likely outcome, you've got the King of Cups clarified by the High Priestess, and you know this. Deeply intuitive, Libra. You are deeply intuitive. Whoever this King of Cups is, whether it is someone who will serve as sort of a counselor to you, or you to yourself, this is an inner knowing. This is someone with a level of expertise that you can't quite put your finger on, but they just know the direction. You don't know what makes them an expert, the way they are, the emotional adeptness that they have. You don't really know exactly what it is, putting your finger on it exactly. But you know that this is who you need to be connected to, or that this is the person you need to listen to, or that this is the voice in your soul, in your heart, that needs to be heard. Listen to yourself too, Libra. I'm getting the sense here that the fear, the sadness, the aggravation is coming from this assumption that you need to be appearing a certain way. What Source is telling you, what Spirit is telling you, is that you are made perfectly for this. And so in any way you are moving through this, it is the right way. It is natural. If right now you're at a point where you feel a little unhappy, or not even unhappy, but just unfulfilled, it's as if Spirit is saying that is okay. If that is how you feel right now, that is because that is just part of what this is looking like. It is not forever. The shift is hard. The 1 foot in, 1 foot out is hard because you're not meant to be in that in-between for very long. So being in that in-between, you are in motion. You are in the process with the 8 of Cups. You are in motion towards the last 2. You are moving closer to fulfillment. But until you get there, you are still right where you are, which is not quite there yet. But it's as if Spirit is saying, but that is okay. You are made perfectly for this. So everything you're feeling, it's like textbook perfect. It's not comfortable, but it is natural, and it is exactly what you should be feeling right now. It is all of these, it's like an internal GPS. All of these feelings are alerting you to the direction that you need to be moving into. And as soon as you're back on track, which you will be soon, Libra, you're going to lay down the law. You will be very soon. You're going to be back on track. And like the absolute beast you are, you're going to move through this cycle, continuing forward in exact measure. One more card, please, for Libra. Serenity. That is like the 4 of Swords right here. The most important relationship you can have is with yourself. This is a time to honor, nurture, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotions that are left over from yesterday. Don't let past issues and resentments interfere with your serenity today. Everything that you are maybe comparing your current life to what it was, if that's the sort of comparison, if that's what the 6 of Pentacles means for you, is like comparing now to the past, understand that nothing will be what it was. You know what I mean? Everything in life changes. It goes through its patterns, its ebbs, its flows, its ups, its downs, its peaks, its troughs. Life is a cycle, and it's all temporary. Every phase of it is temporary, the good and the bad. You may have come from a peak just recently where it just felt like, man, freaking finally, it all came together after all this time, all these things I worked for. It finally all came together, and it hit a peak. But what comes with grace, right? The Empress is all the queens combined, and she understands all elements, including spirit. When it comes to peaks, you understand that you can't ride it forever, and you know eventually there is a dip. And that is okay, because as long as you know yourself and as long as you know the rhythm of life, you know that that is also temporary, and that all you need to do is keep on moving. So Libra, to me, what this sounds like is you've come from a place of completion. You earned something that you've been working very hard towards. Now you're in a space where the demands placed on you to continue have increased. And you are in a way comparing yourself now to what you were before. And you are unhappy. You're dissatisfied, I should say. You're dissatisfied with where you are measuring up right now. Compile that with some toxic energy or some unhealthy thinking, unhealthy habits, unhealthy people and relationships in your environment, selfish people even, right? On top of all of that, them trying to get a word in, it gets to a point where pretty soon you snap, right, completely in half, and you're like, listen, but not in a bad way where the 10 of Wands completely weighs you down. It's more of in a, hey, look, you know what? I took a break. I took some time for myself. Hey, listen, hey, choo-choo, over here. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore, babes. So listen, I got to do this and I got to do that. If you don't get it, then I don't know what to tell you, right? You can go over there, you can go over there, but what you can't do is be in my way right over here. Right? So you are going to lay claim in a very, very Libra-esque manner, in a very Libra-esque way, because you are fair about it and you are neutral about it, but laying the law nonetheless. No dispute. And I want you to have that faith in yourself, Libra, that you know exactly what you need. And when that moment comes, you are going to strike. Because for as neutral as you are, when it comes to you and what you have worked for, no one can challenge you on it. Period. Period. What's yours is yours, and not a damn thing can take it from you. Anyone in your vicinity, yeah, they might be inconvenient. You might be struggling with the toxicity of it because in your mind, you're trying to integrate it. You're trying to make it work. But then it comes to a point where you're like, you know what? I found out that I actually can't make this work. And in order for me to make what I need to make work, I need to eliminate y'all from the formula completely. And that might be what the story is for you. Maybe you're able to sort of exact your judgment and speak your piece to these folks or to whatever these elements are and try to even it out. And there might be sort of like an agreement, an understanding that's reached. And if that's the case, then you will feel not only better because the balance is finally struck, but you're also going to feel more comfortable within yourself because you're going to say, oh, wow, I've actually gotten a lot better at conflict management, and I listened to my gut and I listened to my guidance and my intuition, and I got it. And now I'm exactly where I wanted to be, and I have it all. Because you see yourself as happily working towards something, you see yourself as perfectly capable and in a position to really enjoy what you do or enjoy the company you keep. But right now, something is incomplete. And until this moment happens where you put your foot down and you create the divide and you let everyone know exactly what it is you can dedicate yourself to, or you are able to, again, if no one else is involved, this is just about you spreading yourself out to certain elements in your life. You decide exactly how you're going to spread it out. Once you figure that out and you've got a game plan and you've got that structure, oye, Libra, forget it, right? Game over. That's how you operate. Give me a schedule, give me a routine. That's what you say. Once I have something that I'm following and I'm back on track, you cannot stop me. I cannot be stopped. And that's just what it is. And I want you to know that this space that you're currently in is extremely temporary. And because you are looking for a solution, you are going to find it. It's just that you're integrating right now. You're moving from one life into another life, whatever that means for you, a chapter, from one chapter to another chapter. Maybe you've changed location, maybe you haven't, right? But something significant has shifted for you and you're just trying to make it all work. Once the chips fall back into place and you determine what goes where, who stays where, who goes where, you are absolutely going to be in your element finally. And you're going to find yourself much more at peace, and the game, the fun, is really going to begin. Really going to begin. Because you already love what you do. It's just a matter of putting yourself back at center. That's all it is. You've got this, Libra. Absolutely 100% you've got this. This is your, they're playing at your game. This is what you're good at. Measuring things out, determining the placement of things. This is your game. This is what you're good at. You were made for this. Don't doubt it. Take some space for yourself. Take some time to appreciate yourself and love on yourself and give yourself grace because you deserve it and you are worthy and you are here because you earned it. Take that space to really take a rest and a breath. Gather yourself back up again and hit it hard. And with that, Libra, I'm going to leave you. I love you with all of my heart. I pray that this really struck a chord with you, offered some clarity, offered guidance. I pray that this resonated and gave you some renewed insight, some renewed strength. If you feel like it did and you'd like to share that, by all means, please leave me a comment below. If you would like to reach out to me for a personal reading, you can go to the description box below and find more information. You can also reach me at ladyoftheunknown555@gmail.com. But I am going to see you next time, Libra. I hope that you are well, happy, safe, and I will see you next time. Mwah. With all of my heart, I am loving you, and I will see you later.